Happy Book Week, everybody! It's Miss Mady here, and I am so excited that it's Book Week. I love reading books. I wonder, what's your favourite book to read? This week, we're going to be reading one book for every school day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Keep watching if you want to hear some really cool stories of all the books that we read this week. The very hungry caterpillar. Look at all of those colours. For my sister, Krista. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. There is the little egg. I wonder what's inside that little egg. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up and pop! Out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. He started to look for some food. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. I would still be hungry too. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums, but he was still hungry. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But he was still hungry. On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, and 1 slice of watermelon. That night, he had a stomachache. Oh, not good. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through 1 nice green leaf. And after that, he felt much better. Now he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon and pushed his way out. Out of the cocoon, what's gonna come? He was a beautiful butterfly. Oh my goodness. He ate so many things. He must have eaten this whole page. And there are some more fantastic books by the same author, Eric, that you can check out too. I wonder if my jumper will give you a little bit of a clue on the book we're reading today. It's a little ducky, because today we are reading Alexander's Outing by Pamela Allen. It says here that Pamela Allen has written children's books for more than 30 years. Oh my goodness, that really is a long time. There must be some really great stories. Let's read this one together. Alexander's Outing. Alexander lived with his mother and his 4 brothers and sisters in the most beautiful place in the whole of Sydney. Do you know where Sydney is? But Alexander's mother was bored. So one warm sunny morning, they all set out in search of adventure. Past the bottle tree, through the iron gates, and along Art Gallery Road. Stay close, take care, quacked Alexander's mother. But Alexander did not stay close, and Alexander did not take care. He straggled behind with his head in the air. There he is with his head in the air. In College Street, a man rushed out and stopped the traffic. Stay close, take care, quacked Alexander's mother. But Alexander did not stay close, and Alexander did not take care. He straggled behind, and he did not hear. By the time they reached the other side, Alexander had disappeared. Quack, 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 quack. Alexander's mother quacked and quacked. Alexander, Alexander! Oh, how do you think the mother is feeling? And all his brothers and sisters quacked and quacked and flapped, but they could not find Alexander anywhere. When they stopped making such a din, they heard a faint, distant quack from deep down in the earth. A young man and a middle-aged lady came over to see what was going on. Quack, quack, quack! The young man tried to reach Alexander, but his long arms were not long enough. Quack, quack, quack! The middle-aged lady had an umbrella. So the young man tried again with his long arms and the umbrella, but they weren't long enough either. Quack, quack, quack! A young couple picnicking in Hyde Park. Oh, that's a real place, Hyde Park. Look how beautiful it is. They heard all the commotion, packed up their basket, and came over to see what all the fuss was about. How are we going to get him out? The middle-aged lady asked. The young couple had no idea. Cheer up, they called out, and dropped a half-eaten cheese sandwich down the hole. Ooh, plonk. Ow. A policeman arrived. He knew exactly what to do. He lowered his whistle down the hole on the end of a long piece of string. Here, he shouted, grab hold of this. But Alexander did not grab hold. Alexander did not hear. A small boy and his mother joined the crowd. A feeble quack came from deep down in the hole. How were they going to get him out? Do you have any ideas of how you could get Alexander out? Then before anyone could stop him, the small boy tipped his drink down the hole. Ah! Now you've gone and drowned the poor little blighter, shouted the young man with the long arms, and they all tried to peer down the deep dark hole to see. Everyone started talking at once. They all wanted to rescue Alexander, but how are they going to do it? From their basket, the young picnickers handed out 2 cups, 2 plastic bags, 1 lunchbox and 1 thermos flask. The boy still held his empty drink can. Then, ducks and all, they pranced in one long snaky line to the Archibald fountain. Now dipping and tipping, skipping and dripping, quacking and flapping, dripping and skipping, from the fountain to the hole and back again, they danced. Quack, quack, quack! Slowly, the water rose. Up and up and up until out popped Alexander like the cork out of a bottle. His mother flapped and quacked, and all his brothers and sisters flapped and quacked. Such joyful quacking, such happy flapping. When the celebrations were over, they set off, still quacking and flapping, back across College Street, along Art Gallery Road, through the iron gates, past the bottle tree, and got safely home in time for tea. Quack, quack, quack. We're halfway through book week and I'm so excited for today's reading because we have a special guest with us. It's the Gruffalo from none other than the Gruffalo. Julia Donaldson is one of my favourite authors, so I can't wait to read this one with you. Let's take a look inside. The Gruffalo. Whoa. This is a big book. How am I going to hold this? The Gruffalo. Whoa, look at that forest. There's the little mouse. I wonder if you can spot the little mouse in this video somewhere. A mouse took a stroll through the deep, dark wood. A fox saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come and have lunch in my underground house. It's terribly kind of you, fox, but no. I'm going to have lunch with a Gruffalo. A Gruffalo? What's a Gruffalo? A Gruffalo. Why, didn't you know? He has terrible tusks and terrible claws and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws. Where are you meeting him? Here by these rocks. And his favourite food is roasted fox. Roasted fox! I'm off, Fox said. Goodbye, little mouse, and away he sped. Silly old fox, doesn't he know? There's no such thing as a Gruffalo. On went the mouse through the deep dark wood. An owl saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come and have tea in my treetop house. It's frightfully nice of you, owl, but no. I'm going to have lunch with a Gruffalo. A Gruffalo? What's a Gruffalo? A Gruffalo. Why, didn't you know? He has knobbly knees and turned out toes and a poisonous wart at the end of his nose. Oh yeah, there it is. Where are you meeting him? Here by this stream. And his favourite food is owl ice cream. Owl ice cream? To-wit to-woo. Goodbye, little mouse. And away owl flew. Silly old owl. Doesn't he know? There's no such thing as a Gruffalo. On went the mouse through the deep, dark wood. A snake saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come for a feast in my log pile house. It's wonderfully good of you, snake, but no. I'm having a feast with a Gruffalo. A Gruffalo? What's a Gruffalo? A Gruffalo. Why, didn't you know? His eyes are orange, his tongue is black. He has purple prickles all over his back. Where are you meeting him? Here by this lake. And his favourite food is scrambled snake. Scrambled snake! It's time I hid. Goodbye, little mouse. And away Snake slid. Silly old snake, doesn't he know? There's no such thing as a Gruffalo. Oh! But who is this creature? With terrible claws and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws. He has knobbly knees and turned out toes, and a poisonous wart at the end of his nose. His eyes are orange. His tongue is black. He has purple prickles all over his back. My favourite food, the Gruffalo said. You'll taste good on a slice of bread. Good? Said the mouse. Don't call me good. I'm the scariest creature in this wood. Just walk behind me and soon you'll see everyone is afraid of me. All right, said the Gruffalo, bursting with laughter. You go ahead and I'll follow after. They walked and walked till the Gruffalo said, I hear a hiss in the leaves ahead. A hiss, who could it be? It's Snake, said the mouse. Why, Snake, hello. Snake took one look at the Gruffalo. Oh, crumbs, he said. Goodbye, little mouse. And off he slid to his log pile house. You see, said the mouse, I told you so. Amazing, said the Gruffalo. They walked some more till the Gruffalo said, I hear a hoot in the trees ahead. It's Owl, said the mouse. Why, Owl, hello. Owl took one look at the Gruffalo. Oh dear, he said, goodbye, little mouse. And off he flew to his treetop house. You see, said the mouse, I told you so. Astounding, said the Gruffalo. They walked some more till the Gruffalo said, I can hear feet on the path ahead. It's Fox, said the mouse. Why, Fox, hello. Fox took one look at the Gruffalo. Oh, help, he said. Goodbye, little mouse. And off he ran to his underground house. Well, Gruffalo, said the mouse, you see, everyone is afraid of me. But now my tummy's beginning to rumble, and my favourite food is Gruffalo crumble. Gruffalo crumble? The Gruffalo said. And quick as the wind, he turned and fled. There's the cheeky mouse.
All was quiet in the deep, dark wood. The mouse found a nut, and the nut was good.
2 more stories to go. I wonder what they'll be. You're not so scary, Mr. Gruffalo. Today's story is about Stella, the elephant, who wants to become an astronaut and head out to space. Let's take a read of this story by James Foley. Stellarphant. One ordinary Monday at 9 a.m. precisely, Stella walked into Space Command. Hello, she said. I'd like to become an astronaut. The man stopped clacking on his keyboard and looked up. Splat! There he is spitting out his coffee. But, you're an elephant, said the man. I am, said Stella, holding out her application. But we've never had an elephant astronaut before, said the man. I know, said Stella. I would be the first. I'm sorry, said the man, but I don't think we can let an elephant be an astronaut. Imagine what would happen. We'd have all sorts of animals applying for approval. But you have sent some animals to space, said Stella, and the man nodded. Then why not an elephant? Asked Stella. I'm sorry, said the man, but the other animals were smaller. We don't make spacesuits in your size or shape. Unless you can find a spacesuit to fit you, I can't approve your application. So Stella measured and stitched and tinkered until finally it was ready. Now can I be an astronaut? Asked Stella. I'm sorry, said the man, but you need to complete basic training and we're just not set up to train elephants. You're too big. You'd break all our equipment. Unless you can find training somewhere else, I can't approve your application. So Stella found teachers and she studied and strengthened and practiced and prepared. Until finally she was ready. Now can I be an astronaut? Asked Stella. I'm sorry, said the man, but our rockets aren't built to lift elephants. You're too heavy. Besides, you wouldn't even fit through the door. Unless you can find another rocket, I can't approve your application. So Stella sketched and tested and assembled until it was finally ready. Now can I be an astronaut? Asked Stella. I'm sorry, said the man, but you need a crew. And unfortunately, none of our astronauts want to fly with an elephant. They say it's bad luck. They say it's too dangerous. They say something's bound to go wrong. Unless you can find a crew, I can't approve your application. So Stella gathered her friends, and together they studied and strengthened and practiced and prepared until finally they were all ready. I have a crew, said Stella. Now can we be astronauts? The man didn't know what to do. Well, I'll get my manager. The man's manager didn't know what to do, so he went and got his manager. The man's manager's manager didn't know what to do either, so he went and got his manager. On and on this went until they ran out of managers. They all look very puzzled. So they asked the big boss of Space Command. The big boss and all the managers sat at a long table to have a long talk about the elephant in the room. Why won't they approve my application? Thought Stella. I've trained for this. I have a suit and a rocket and a crew. They have to let me be an astronaut. They have to. Then Stella realized that actually they didn't have to. She didn't need their approval. She had everything she needed already. We are go for launch. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. There goes the rocket into space. And there's all our friends in space there. Look at that Hall of Fame. Incredible. So just remember that too. Sometimes you don't need other people's approval, and maybe one day you could get to space or whatever you put your mind to as well. I'm not sure where Miss Mady has gone to, because I am the old lady from A Squash and a Squeeze by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. Let's take a read of our final book in this book week series. A Squash and a Squeeze. A little old lady, that was me, I lived all by myself, with a table and chairs and a jug on the shelf. A wise old man heard her grumble and grouse. There's not enough room inside my house. Wise old man, won't you help me please? My house is a squash and a squeeze. Take in your hen, said the wise old man. Take in my hen? What a curious plan. Well, the hen laid an egg on the fireside rug and flapped round the room, knocking over the jug. The little old lady cried, what shall I do? It was pokey for one and it's tiny for two. My nose has a tickle and there's no room to sneeze. My house is a squash and a squeeze. And she said, wise old man, won't you help me please? My house is a squash and a squeeze. Take in your goat, said the wise old man. Take in my goat? What a curious plan. Well, the goat chewed the curtains and trod on the egg, then sat down to nibble the table leg. The wise old lady cried, glory be! It was tiny for two, and it's titchy for three. The hen pecks the goat, and the goat's got fleas. My house is a squash and a squeeze. And she said, wise old man, won't you help me please? My house is a squash and a squeeze. Take in your pig, said the wise old man. Take in my pig?
What a curious plan. She took in her pig, who kept chasing the hen and raiding the larder again and again. The little old lady cried, "Stop, I implore! It was titchy for 3 and it's tinny for 4. Even the pig in the larder agrees. My house is a squash and a squeeze." And she said, "Wise old man, won't you help me, please? My house is a squash and a squeeze." "Take in your cow." "That's you." "Take in your cow," said the wise old man. "Take in my cow? What a curious plan." Well, the cow took one look and charged straight at the pig. He jumped on the table and tapped out a jig. Oh. The little old lady cried, "Heavens alive! It was teeny for 4 and it's weeny for 5. I'm tearing my hair out and I'm down on my knees. My house is a squash and a squeeze." And she said, "Wise old man, won't you help me, please? My house is a squash and a squeeze." "Take them all out," said the wise old man. "But then I'll be back where I first began." She opened the window and out flew the hen. "That's better. At last, I can sneeze again." She shooed out the goat and she shoved out the pig. My house is beginning to feel pretty big. She huffed and she puffed and she pushed out the cow. "Just look at my house. It's enormous now." "Thank you, old man, for the work you have done. It was weeny for 5. It's gigantic for 1. There's no need to grumble. There's no need to grouse. There's plenty of room in my house." And now she's full of frolics and fiddle-dee-dees. It isn't a squash and it isn't a squeeze. Yes, she is full of frolics and fiddle-dee-dees. It isn't a squash or a squeeze. Thank you so much for listening along to all these incredible stories. I hope you find some cool stories to read too. Happy Book Week! Morning, cows!